Welcome to Techstination. We're taking a look at a book, One Step Further, My Story of Math, the Moon, and a Mission, written by the late Katherine Johnson and two of her daughters, Joylette Hylick and Catherine Moore. Thanks for joining us, Joylette.
Thank you.
Well, many people learned about the accomplishments of your mother as a NASA mathematician through the wonderful film Hidden Figures. That was 5 years ago. Hard to believe that. She passed away last year at the age of 101, but not before she collaborated with you on this new book for children. Tell us about the motivation here.
Well, my mother, I often said that my mother was born a teacher because she started helping her classmates or her friends from the time she was 4 or 5. And she always felt that she wanted everybody to know what she knew, her classmates, in other words. And if you didn't, she would do what she could, because she could usually figure out what it was that you needed in order to understand.
And so this is a picture book designed for children. Tell us about why that's so important.
Because I know often when she was younger and would occasionally talk to students, she said the younger you get them and get their curiosity up, the better. If you wait till they're late high school, they've made up their minds either to do well or not. And if you wanted to plant the seed of curiosity as far as math or science, which they think is hard, you have to start early so that they don't fear it.
And this is almost, to some extent anyway, like a family album.
Yes. But, you know, we were always interested in things, curious. I think there's a picture of us in there at the fish hatchery in West Virginia, which we would go to. You know, it's just being curious. If you're curious, you're going to learn. And she said, you have to learn something new every day.
Well, for a woman, especially a black woman, this was really, really uncharted territory going back to the 50s and 60s, and even long after, to some extent, maybe today. Not easy to put into words just how difficult that was.
True, but Mom was not a negative thinking person, so she would not point out negative things. It was always moving forward. Now, we didn't have such a strict environment that we didn't have fun. We had loads of fun, but it was just always with positive things in mind, curiosity in mind, and learning something new.
So what was she like as a mom at home? Lots of rules?
Yes. You didn't have a whole lot of free time. Free time, you can get in trouble. But she worked all our lives, and so we had rules, and we had to get our homework. We were involved in activities. We just had to stay busy.
Did she help you with your math homework?
No, not till we finished it to see if we had done it right.
Terrific.
If she saw that we had a problem, she would make us think it through, but she would never give us answers.
At the time, did you realize how significant it was what she was doing? I imagine that's hard for a kid.
No, we didn't know much about it, except that we knew she was working on a space program, and so everything that was in the newspapers she could explain to us, and she could show us when the satellites were going overhead, because it looked like a star, but because she knew what it was, she could say that's a satellite. So I was interested in the stars and the planets and that sort of thing.
Well, you were fortunate to have her with you for so many years. As you were growing up, what are the most significant pieces of advice or inspiration that she was able to impart to you?
Well, the thing she said probably all the way to the very end was always do your best. Do your best as if somebody's standing over your shoulder. And I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Well, to a great extent, you followed in her footsteps remarkably. You actually worked as a mathematician at NASA.
Yes, I was there about a year and a half.
But stayed in the field as well, though.
Yes, oh yeah. I've always liked math.
What do you?
not maybe because of her indirectly, but not directly. She didn't direct me to it. It's just that I never heard negative things about it. And then in school, I took all the math courses that I could in high school, and I guess I like numbers too.
What's your thinking? Is this a DNA genetic thing in some way, the abilities, or is it something else?
Well, maybe. My son taught math for several years here in Jersey also, and I just said to someone, they say, well, what is it about math? And so my son said to his middle school kids one day, who said, I don't like it, it's hard, I don't want to do it. And he said, well, what do you do in this world that doesn't require a number? And so it sort of slows them down a little bit because he says that you've got to give them a reason for it. So I guess Mom did the same thing. You know, it's just in I guess it is in our DNA.
Your sister and co-author here, Katherine, she's a teacher too, right? So.
She was, yes, and a counselor. I think she wanted to do that more. She loves helping people.
Well, the book, once again, is One Step Further, My Story of Math, the Moon, and a Mission. Joylette Hylick, thank you for taking the time with us.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the day, and you can order the book on Amazon in this virus world, or find it in Barnes & Noble. And I hope young people will enjoy it. It's a quick read.
Stay well.
Thank you so much.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at C. Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand, without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.